Hey everyone, welcome to Fit Girls Live, Laugh, and Oil, our yoga sequence using the premium starter kit oils. Doing a yoga sequence with it. This is Tamara.
Hey guys.
And I'm Cassandra. So the oils that we're going to be using out of your starter kit today is going to be purification. I don't know if you guys, it might be backwards on there. Peppermint, frankincense, which is what we have in our diffuser today because we love, love, love frankincense. Copaiba and Panaway. So for this one, we're going to be using the Panaway in a carrier oil. So if you have like a little squeeze bottle or like even just putting it in a bowl works fine too. But so you want to use a carrier oil. So what I'm using today is the V6 Vegetable Complex carrier oil from Young Living. But you can also use like an olive oil or grapeseed oil or
Copaiba oil.
Or that one. Any oil works great. So just get like a little bottle like this ready. Or a bowl or whatever, like it doesn't have to be fancy, it doesn't matter. And then put your Panaway, put a couple drops into your oil. You can also maybe even use a roller ball, which I have on this one, but it's a little bit harder for the use that we're using it for today because we're going to be putting it all over everywhere. So the roller ball doesn't really work as great in this situation. So yeah, let's get started. Can't wait. Hey guys, so let's get started. Coming onto your mat, coming into a comfortable seated position. So it can be cross-legged, half lotus, kneeling. Use a block or a bolster underneath you to support whatever's most comfortable for you. Right. And we're going to take our purification oil and we're going to put a couple drops into our palm. Rubbing those palms together to activate that oil. And closing your eyes, bringing it to your face to inhale. Taking long, deep breaths. And noticing what emotions are coming up for you as you're inhaling this oil. The reason I chose purification for this is really good for purifying your energy, cleansing your aura. Find that deep, long breath. Inhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Exhale. Continuing this breathing pattern. Taking a moment here to release anything that you have on your to-do list today. Every exhale, letting that go. Maybe anything that has happened before this class. And instead, inhaling serenity. And letting that oxygen cleanse your body and invigorate it. Still coming for a couple more breaths. And slowly opening those eyes. We're going to start by loosening up those shoulders with some arm stretches. So starting with your left arm, we're bring it out across your body. And sometimes you might have to move it up or down or around just to find that nice stretch from your shoulder down into your arm. And breathing into it. Finding space where there wasn't before. Two more breaths. Last inhale. And exhale to release. Next, we're going to take that right arm, bring it across that body. Same thing. Finding that spot where it stretches the most. Coming back to your breath. Two more breaths. And taking an inhale here and exhaling to release. We're going to take that left arm, bringing it up over our head. Hand coming between those shoulder blades. And your right arm comes up to grip onto that elbow and just pushing it down gently. You should also feel a nice opening in your heart chakra here. Making sure that you aren't hunched in. You have a straight spine. Two more breaths. One more inhale, and exhale to release. Switching sides, bringing that right arm up in between those shoulder blades. Left arm comes up to grab that elbow and push it down slightly, giving you a nice gentle stretch. Two more breaths. One more inhale and exhale to release. So moving whatever props you may be sitting on, putting those to the side, and coming into your downward dog position. So tailbone is pointed up towards the back corner where the ceiling and the wall meet. Heels are coming towards that ground. Feeling free to walk out your dog here. Your drishti or your gaze point should either be at your feet, your knees, or your belly button. Once you've found a little opening here, so what we're going to do here is we're going to take your right leg, lifting it up towards the ceiling, coming into that three-legged dog. Then what we're going to do is we're going to bend that lifted leg, and we're going to open our hips open over to the right side of the mat. And your gaze point should be up towards your toe. So you're looking just past your armpit on your left side. You should feel a nice opening inside your groin area. Being sure not to twist this leg that is your support here. And just finding as much opening in your hips as possible. Holding that for one more breath. And exhaling to release that foot down to the ground. Walking that dog out. We're going to switch sides over to the left leg, lifting that left leg up to the ceiling, coming into that three-legged dog. bending that knee and then opening those hips open to the left side. Being sure not to contort that grounded foot at all. Gaze point is up at your big toe, just past that right armpit. Still breathing into this. Taking one more breath here. And exhale to release that foot down to the ground. Now we're going to take that right foot, sending it up to the top of the mat in between your front hands. And then walking those hands over to center, and so that both of your feet are parallel to the front and end of your mat, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. Taking a moment here to grab your peppermint. And smelling that just to invigorate your practice a little bit here. Placing those hands back down on the mat. You're going to turn your hands so that your fingers are pointing towards your heels. And just walk those hands back a little bit, bringing the top of your head down toward the mat. And if you can't quite get your head closer to the ground, bending first in those knees, bringing that head to the mat, and then straightening those legs out. So you get that nice stretch to the back of your legs. And inhale, we're going to walk those hands forward, straightening that back so that you're in your halfway lift. And then on your exhale, using your peace fingers to wrap around your big toes. And then drawing those elbows up to the side, coming back into that wide-legged forward fold. You may also grip onto your ankles if this is more comfortable for you. Taking one more breath here. And inhaling, bringing those hands back down to the mat. Heel-toeing those feet in just a little bit. And then coming all the way up, flat back. Hands on those hips. Coming all the way up. Turning your feet so that your toes are towards the top corners of your mat at a 45-degree angle. And then bending in those knees, so those knees come out over those ankles. Bringing those hands into your drishti, coming into our goddess pose. Maybe bringing your feet a little closer together, just so that your knees are over top of your ankles. Good. And hold this for one more breath. And on your inhale, reaching up towards the ceiling, straightening those legs, getting a full stretch all the way up to your fingertips. And on your exhale, you're going to come back into that goddess pose. And we're going to pulse here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, holding, remembering not to let those knees collapse in. Shortening into your stance if you need to. And inhale to rise all the way up. Straightening those arms, stretching. And we're going to come down one more time into that goddess pose. This time, we're going to see if we can come up on our tippy toes. So slowly, first finding your balance, and slowly rising those heels off the ground. Try to come onto those tippy toes, seeing how high you can get that heel off the ground. You may wobble or fall here, that's okay. It's a practice and it's supposed to be fun. And one more breath, don't forget to breathe. And exhaling those heels down to the ground. And inhale, reaching up towards the sky. Perfect. And then windmilling those arms to the front of your mat, getting a bend in that knee. And stepping to the top of the mat. Sorry, to the top of the mat. And inhaling flat back, reverse swan diving those arms all the way up to the ceiling. Exhaling those hands and to that heart center. So from here, placing your hands onto your waist, you're going to get a bend in that right knee and shoot it to the back of the mat. This back foot is going to come parallel to the back end of your mat. This heel should line up either to this heel or to the arch of your foot. Arms are going to come out directly straight front and back. And exhaling, you're coming into that front knee, coming into that warrior two. Remembering to breathe here. Remembering not to let this front knee go on vacation so that it collapses in, but making sure that it remains directly above your ankle. And on your inhale, this back arm is either going to come to the thigh or wrap around the torso, and the front arm, when you inhale, is going to come up, coming into that exalted warrior. So Tamara is going with the first option. You can also come into a sort of half twist here, or bind something like that. Whatever feels most comfortable for you. Taking one more inhale here. On your exhale, you're going to windmill those arms down to the top of the mat, planting them on the ground in front of that right foot. And she's going to leap or hop step to the front of the mat, coming into that forward fold. So feet are hip distance apart, letting that head hang. Making sure not to lock those knees. And on your inhale, placing those hands on your thighs, straightening that back, coming into that halfway lift. Or shins, sorry, not thighs. And then exhale, placing those hands back down on the mat. And we're going to switch sides. So the left foot, inhale all the way up. Exhale those hands to your heart center. Then placing those hands on the waist. So taking that left foot, bending it in towards, and then shooting it to the back of the mat. Back foot comes parallel to the back of the mat. Again, that front heel either lines up to the arch of the back foot or the heel of it. And when you're ready, shooting those arms out in front of you and directly behind you. Gaze is over that front middle finger. Perfect. Excellent. Still breathing. One more breath. On your next inhale, placing that back hand either on your shin or wrapping around your torso and lifting that front arm up towards the sky. Gaze is still at that front middle finger. Exalted warrior. One more breath here. Take an inhale and exhale. you're going to windmill those arms down to the front of the mat. Bring in that front foot. And then you're going to step up to the top of the mat. So from here, placing those hands down on the mat, heel toeing those feet out a little bit, and then making sure your feet are angled so your toes are towards the left and right sides of your mat, the width of the mat, and then coming down into a squat. And tomorrow I'll just get you to face this way. Sorry. And so from here, we're going to take some frankincense, placing that into our palms. This is just going to bring a lot more serenity to this posture. Just because I love frankincense. So after you're done smelling your hands, this posture may not be available to you. If it's not, feel free to grab a couple blocks or a pillow or a stool, whatever works for you, and you can get the same benefit this way. So taking those hands and putting them at your heart center, those elbows are going to come inside those knees, and gently they're going to push them out towards the side. So you'll feel a nice stretch here in that groin area. It's also really good for digestion, as it's our natural way. Before we started sitting, we used to all squat, so it's really good to don't hunch those shoulders in, making sure that that spine is nice and straight. Feeling free to close those eyes. Listen to the music. Maybe just checking in with yourself here to see how you are feeling at this moment. Taking a couple more breaths here. So placing those hands back down on the mat. We're going to step back into our plank position. So I'll just get you to do it sideways so that everyone can see. So coming into that plank position, straight line all the way from the top of the head, straight neck all the way down to the ankles. Strong core, activating the gluteus maximus here. Arms are shoulder distance apart, and still remembering to breathe here. So on your next inhale, taking your right hand and placing it in the center of the mat, and then coming out onto the outside of your right foot, coming into that side plank. Again, notice the straight line from Tamara's head all the way down to her ankles. Option here, if this isn't available, just to go onto your knees. Or one knee down, one leg straight up in front. I don't know if you can see that. One more inhale, and then exhale, bringing that top hand back down to the mat, rolling back into regular. Finding your breath here. And on your next inhale, taking that left hand and placing it in the center of your mat, coming out onto the left edge of your foot. Again, option here, coming onto your knee or for a couple more breaths here. Taking one more inhale and exhale, bringing that top hand down to the mat. And spreading those knees so that they are the width of your mat. You're going to bring your sits bones down towards your heels. And you're going to walk those hands out in front of you, bringing that chest down to the ground, feeling that stretch in your shoulders and your forehead coming down to the mat, coming into your child's pose. So here we're going to take our Cobaiba, and we're just going to place it in between our hands, our palms. Yes. Rubbing them together, just coming down, bringing now your knees together, and bringing that forehead back down to the mat, and just smelling that oil. Cobaiba has very gentle scent for this gentle posture. Taking a couple more breaths here. On your next inhale, rising up onto those heels of your feet. And we're going to turn the width of our mat, the length rather, yes. Yeah. And our next posture is a supported, seated, wide-legged forward fold. There's a lot of words in there. So using blocks and a bolster, or pillows, blankets, whatever works. And you can just set this up. So spreading your feet out wide, yeah. Making sure that our feet are flexed. And propping those props up there. And just lying down onto that bolster. Forehead comes down. You can turn your head either way. And just relaxing with each breath. With every exhale, try and release one small place of tension in your body. Back to your breath. Placing those hands down on the mat in front of you and slowly supporting yourself with your arms, lifting yourself back up. Moving the props from in between you. And bringing those legs together. You can give a little shake down here. So just get you to turn on the mat. And from here, we're going to come into a a seated twist. So having those feet flexed, we're going to take the left and place it over the right, either above or below the knee, never directly on the knee. And then we're going to take that left arm, inhaling it up towards the sky and placing it behind us. And then your right hand comes inside that knee, or can hug that knee, and just gazing over that left shoulder, coming into that seated twist. Option here to come into half Lord of the Fishes, where you would bend this front leg and just bring that heel towards that gluteus maximus. And if you want to play around a little bit, you can even try coming into a bind, placing your hand, either whichever posture you're in is good, placing that hand in that opening and seeing if you can take that back hand to grasp that hand through that hole, still gazing over that left shoulder. Taking one more inhale here, and exhale, releasing to center, and coming into a counter twist in the other direction. And then coming back to your center here. Releasing that foot down, and switch sides. So right foot comes over the left, either above or below the knee. We don't want any pressure on that knee. Taking that right arm and inhaling it up and then placing it behind us. Taking our left hand, either wrapping it around that knee or placing it inside that knee. Gazing over that right shoulder. Again, option here, if you did it on the other side, to come into half Lord of the Fishes. And maybe if you want to try the bind, coming through, sometimes you're more open in your shoulders on one side than the other. So if you couldn't do it on the other side, you might be able to do it on the side. Sticking that left hand through that opening in your legs, and then grasping behind your back, still gazing over that right shoulder. One more inhale here. Exhale, coming, releasing, and then coming into a counter twist on the other side. Coming back to center. So from here, bending those knees, maybe tucking that tailbone, rolling down. Coming into that Shavasana. So there's a couple options here. You can do as Tamara is already doing right now. Maybe even placing something behind your head, like a pillow, or you can roll up a blanket or use a bolster. Underneath your knees. This is really good for anyone who has any lower back pain or anything like that. You can let those feet flop open to the side. But today I'm going to give you an option to do butterfly legs. So bringing the bottoms of your feet to the mat, and then letting those knees drop out to the side so that the soles of your feet touch together. And when you're in Shavasana, sometimes it feels okay now, but it might not be okay in a little while. So you can always just take some blocks or some pillows or whatever you got, and just place them as a support underneath those knees so we don't get any overstretching. Closing those eyes, palms facing up. You also might like to take that left hand and place it over your heart, and that right hand on your belly so you can feel your heartbeat and your breathing. Whatever feels right now, whatever seems to be calling to you. shallow. Maybe dimming any lights where you are, or placing something over your eyes to minimize any stimulation. Just really trying to release every muscle in your body, focusing from releasing all the way from your toes, all the way to the top of your head. Maybe one part of your body at a time, focusing first on the feet, releasing all that tension, and focusing on your legs. And with each exhale, releasing tension there. And focusing on that midsection. With each exhale, melting into that ground. Focusing on that chest area. Again, on every exhale, just focusing on releasing that tension and sinking into the ground that is supporting you. Next, focusing on the face, which can be really difficult. Making sure that your jaw isn't clenched. Making sure your eyebrows aren't furrowed. Releasing any tension that you can in your face, in your jaws, in your cheeks, even in the space behind your eyes. Just letting all that tension melt away. You have your hands on your torso here, you can bring them down to your side. Start wiggling those fingers, circling those wrists as you deepen your breath. And if you have your legs out in butterfly, taking those hands and those arms and supporting your legs as you slowly bring them together. Wiggling those toes, circling those ankles, and then windshield wipering those feet back and forth. If you don't have your knees bent and the bottoms of your feet on the ground, maybe doing that right now. And continuing with the windshield wiper motion. And when you're ready, coming to center, bringing those knees into your chest and giving yourself a nice big hug. Maybe rocking back and forth, massaging that lower back on the mat. And when you're ready, rolling over to your side into the fetal position. This head can be resting on your arm or a block or any sort of prop you have around you. Just taking this moment here to feel safe and content. Knowing that having taken this time for yourself today, you'll be okay with those to-do lists and whatever happened earlier. When you're ready, using that top arm to support you as you push yourself up into a seated position. Now the last step of self-care in our practice is coming back to that Panaway oil. And Panaway is really great for muscle pain associated with muscle pain. And you can just squirt a little bit into your hand or whatever, wherever you have it. And just rubbing that first. The shoulders, and then bringing it down those arms, all the way down to your wrist so you can release that tension through your fingertips. Starting again on the other side. Massaging it from your shoulders all the way down to those wrists and then those fingertips, releasing that tension. Giving yourself a nice self-massage here. Take some more. Doing it on your neck. Down your back. And then, if you're wearing shorts, I'm going to wear shorts today. I didn't think this through, but taking some more and just rubbing it down your legs, all the way down towards your ankles, making sure to get those calves, and then releasing that tension through your toes. And you'll smell amazing as well, which is also really good. So, thank you everyone for joining us today, and thank yourself for taking this time on the day to do your practice and pamper yourself and care for yourself in this way. Have a blessed day.
Thank you, Cassandra, for teaching this class.
Absolutely. Namaste.